Bulletproof coffee this morning. I decided I'm going to splurge and drink my bulletproof coffee again. Sharon Horne-Ellstrom here. What's she up to now? Day 827. 827 days in a row. I've hopped on and discussed my transition from the brick and mortar world and corporate world, over 25 years and over a quarter century in corporate America, and 27 or so different businesses and different industries that I've worked on throughout my career before I came online. Right now, since I've come online, I've lost count of how many different things and businesses and courses and coaching programs and things that I've done. I should go back and tally that up. I'm gonna go tally that up today. I'm just curious now, what all have I done online? Number of online things. I haven't been online full time for that long, a couple of years, 827 days, right? I've been online doing things online and trying to duplicate my success offline online. Now, my success offline was a lot. I did a lot of things offline and made lots of money offline. So I want to recreate that online. And I am not even close. That's why I'm still doing this daily journal of what I'm doing as I make that transition. Because a lot of gurus tell people, oh, just do this, follow my proprietary proven system, and you'll be a millionaire by next Tuesday, or by the end of the month, or within 6 months or a year. And, you know, do some people pull that off? Very few, but yes, some do. But what you find out when you look into their story is, yeah, they did your thing in a month or 2 months or 6 months or a year, but all of the experience and all of the things that they did up to and leading up to that were usually years, if not decades, in the making, right? Years of learning and growing and experiencing things that made them ready to actually implement your system and go full out and go full force with it. So everybody's got a story, and everybody's got a lot more story than they share with the world. I've been talking for 827 days in a row here, and it's just the tip of the iceberg of my story and who I am and what makes me me. Even if somebody listened to all 827 episodes, I'm sure there's still stuff that I haven't shared, right? Not on purpose, but I just haven't gotten to it yet, or it hasn't come up. And a lot of people don't do videos for 827 days, and they don't share 827 things that have happened or not happened in their life and in their experience. So you're just ever only seeing the absolute teeniest bit of the iceberg of anyone and anything that you see. And online, we have to be especially wary and cautious, because many people are very, I don't want to say manipulative, but they're very careful about the persona that they put forth and what they share. A lot of influencers, they carefully craft, a lot of gurus, especially in the internet marketing space, carefully craft what they want you to see. And you're only seeing the very best tip of their iceberg, right? So keep that in mind when you're looking for people to follow, looking for gurus, listening to them, and following them online. I've gotten very careful, and I've always been really cautious and careful and done my research about who I listen to, who I learn from, and who I follow. I also don't ever just go to one source. I've learned that it's like reading one book on a topic and then deciding that that's your opinion for the rest of your life. Kind of silly, right? Remember back when I was doing the Italian food business, I wanted to learn about outsourcing and doing things. So what did I do? This was before the internet, believe it or not. I went and I bought 20 books on outsourcing, and I read every one of them. I didn't read every word of every one of them, but I went through and skimmed to find what I needed from each of those books to get 20 different authors' perspectives. And some were written by more than one person. So more than 20 people's perspective on the topic before I started to decide and disseminate that information and figure out for myself and my business what was right for us. And I've always had that approach. I've had that approach since school, when, you know, the teachers would tell you, go get 3 sources for your term paper. I would go over to the Hill Reference Library in St. Paul, Minnesota, and I loved that library. It was so fun and full of materials you couldn't find anywhere else in the world back then, because I could get all these different sources. So I'd have like 15 sources for my paper that we were supposed to have 3, because I liked learning and it was fun, and I loved going to the Hill Reference Library. So I've always not taken somebody else's word for something. I always like to do my own research and consider the sources, and then decide, well, what do I really think about that? What is right for me in my situation? So today, thinking about what's next. What is my next thing? Just finished the 30-day Get Up and Go challenge. Also was doing 3 other people's challenges and went to a 3-day live interactive event, which was incredible, by the way, which gave me hope for my own ability to put on events. I've been, for the last couple of years, wanted to do an event. I did a women's summit because I could do that online and remotely, right? I could do that from home, and I could interview people and put together a women's summit. So I knew I could do a summit. I've done lots and lots and lots and lots of challenges, so I knew I could do challenges, but I have held off helping certain people in one particular niche because I thought they can never go to events. Their physical situation makes it impossible for the majority of them to travel and go to events. So I haven't been serving that market when I know that I can serve them really, really well. And I've just been like dabbling in it, which makes me feel a little guilty because I know I can serve them at a higher level. Because, and part of what was holding me back was I didn't know how I could get them together to interact and help one another. Because there's so much power in masterminding and doing groups together. And I actually forgot about the breakout feature on Zoom until I attended this event. And we had breakout rooms, there were 2,300 people on it, and we had breakout rooms with like 5 or 6 people, and we'd do an assignment, we'd go into a breakout room, we'd all talk about our assignment, and then we'd give each other feedback, which was, I think, the most powerful piece of the entire event, right? The other thing was I got to have a front row seat. Everybody gets to have a front row seat, and that's really cool. And I forgot about that feature too. So to me, it gave me hope, and I now know that I can totally do an online event and a virtual interactive event that all the participants can feel as if they're there, even if they're not there. To me, that is pretty awesome and pretty cool. So I know that that is in my very near future. I'm talking very near future, like in the next few weeks, we're going to pull that off. I've got already a couple people on a team that I'm pulling together to make that happen. It will not happen on the grand scale of the one I attended, but a small, intimate group event, because I want to do some workshop things to make sure that you are getting the results that you want right now. So when I ask what's next, what I want to know is, what do people need next? Is it, what is this online thing? How do I even freaking make that work for me? Because a lot of people, a lot of business owners that I've been begging and trying to convince for years to get an online presence, at least of some sort. They've got an offline business and they don't have anything going on online except maybe a Yelp review or a mention on one of the review sites to get online, but to get online on purpose. And now it's like, I don't even know how to start with this online thing. So maybe we'll do a workshop about that. Maybe we'll do a workshop about building a community. Maybe we'll do a workshop about, the importance of being online, but then how the heck to do it, and not how to do it over months and weeks and 827 days or a year, but how to get it done and started right now so that you're moving in the direction that you want to move with it. So it'll probably be, I'm going to say right now, it will be a workshop where you don't just come and listen and learn stuff and have me talk at you, which I'm very adept at. Obviously, I talk every day. But it'll be something that you come in, you do what it is, and you get the objective and the thing done that you want to do right there during the workshop. So if you want to be online and get your online presence known and going and rocking and rolling, you will do it during the workshop, and you will leave with yourself online. So working on that. Day 118 for the fun challenge, doing one fun thing every day for 365 days. Every year for the last couple of years, that's how I got myself to go online over the fear of doing that. I picked a topic or something that I wanted to grow and personally improve in, and then I did every day. I did it, and I've got these little journal books that I found at the cabin that help prompt me with ideas of what to talk about that day and to challenge myself to actually make that improvement. So the first year I did do one thing that scares you every day to stretch my comfort zone. Then last year I did do one thing every day that makes you happy, because I wasn't that happy. I was focusing on the things that didn't make me happy, and I wondered why I wasn't so happy. So last year, every day last year, I did one thing every day to make me happy. And this year, I think fortuitously picked fun. I wanted to have more fun in my life, and I was hanging out with my granddaughter. I knew I was going to be watching her during the weeks, and then she'd have school a few hours a day, but then I'd still be hanging out with her. So I wanted us to have fun, so I picked do one thing do one fun thing every day, and every day we do something fun. And I think it's been good. There's a lot of people that are looking, including me, for more fun in their lives, more fun things to do. So today we talked about, what do you do when you can't sleep at night? When you are awake at night, what do you do? And Henry David Thoreau used to keep a piece of paper and a pencil or a pen under his pillow, and then when he couldn't sleep at night, he would just draw in the dark, or he would write in the dark. Some people draw in the dark. I have kept a notebook or a yellow pad and a pen or pencils or something by my bed for as long as I can remember. I don't know, probably when I was a little girl, my dad taught us something about that when you couldn't sleep, and I always had something by my bed. And I said draw because a lot of times back then, if I couldn't sleep, I would wake up and I would just draw, or I would draw in the dark. If I had a bad dream and I woke up, I would draw out something, and then I'd go back to sleep, and then I'd wake up in the morning, I'd see this weird drawing, and I would kind of remember what I dreamt about, or I'd be like, oh, that was a weird dream. But so for years and years, I've kept something by my bed. So we talked about, what do you do? Is there something that you do? And the other thing, for extra credit, what keeps you up at night? What causes you to lose sleep? Because I think that's an important topic too. Because if we realize the things that cause us to lose sleep, then we can do something about them, and we can get a better night's sleep. And one of the things that helps enhance our health is to get enough sleep, right? So something that I didn't learn until about 10 years ago, the importance of actually getting more than 4 hours sleep a night. Supersize your business. The idiom that I talked about in that today was sitting pretty. And then I gave everybody 3 things that you can do right now to make sure that you're sitting pretty, no matter what your situation, whether you feel like you're awesome and you're doing well during COVID-19, or you need help with that. Because I think it's important that we have actionable things that we can do right now, not just talk about an idiom and then not know what to do with it. I talk about it, I talk about where it came from, and then I share, hey, what's something you can do with this right now in your life, if you so choose. Some things we relate to really well, other things we don't. Sitting pretty, personally, I think about 80% of the population is freaking out right now, or frozen and not really doing anything, both in their businesses, both our business, 80% of the businesses are still down, and a lot of business owners, just like individuals, are just waiting for everything to go back to normal. Newsflash, nothing or hardly anything is going to go back to normal. There are huge industries that are forever changed, and some that will actually go away because of this pandemic, right? There just are. And then there are other industries that are booming because of this. I was listening to some things about 10 industries that are just exploding and will continue to explode after COVID-19. And I'll probably do a YouTube or something on that, or a video on that, because I thought it was really interesting. And we need to know that each and every one of us have the ability to affect our own economy and to sit pretty if we so choose. But it's going to be up to us individually doing that, just like it's going to be up to business owners and entrepreneurs to help the economy recover and us to come back as a nation, which we totally, absolutely, positively will, by the way. But it's up to each and every one of us to decide, how are we going to sit pretty? So we talked about that. And then I am ramping up big time. I've got a 4-year-old coming in a few minutes, but then I will be, as I'm playing with her and doing something fun for sure today, I'll be ramping up my next thing and starting to roll that out. I'm going to start to contact some very cool people, because whether I do a workshop or a summit next, a virtual summit, I want to have some fun resources and fun people come. And guess what? The secret is, right now, a lot of people that are used to being unapproachable and huge influencers and on stages and being seen by millions of people are not right now, because they haven't made that jump and gone online, or because they don't want people to see who they really are. That's the really scary thing. Pay attention to who's still out in the world and you're seeing every day, versus the people that are hiding and are not being who they are or showing you their authentic self, because there's a reason for that, right? They're showing you just that little teeny tip of the iceberg of who they really are when they're in the world. I'm thinking actors, actresses, famous, athletes. Well, they don't have their platform, right? Speakers don't have their platform. But if they don't have their platform, are they doing something to still interact with their customers and interact with us, because we're their customers, right? If they are, that tells you what kind of person they are, right? They really care about the people that they're inspiring and speaking to or showing up for it. But if they're not out still and about, you gotta ask yourself, why is that? Why are they not around? That's what I'm asking myself. And that the same is true of the businesses and the companies and the people we interact with. What businesses have just gone dead, dark, silent, aren't communicating with people, aren't solving any problems, aren't looking for how they can help? Those are the businesses I'm not going back to, right? The businesses I'm going back to are the ones that are still looking for ways to serve me and all their other customers during this time of crisis, doing what we can do when sometimes we don't really know what to do in the first place. There's always something that we can do. We have to all be doing what we can to serve people and to give value and to honor people and help people with their problems, especially in times like this, right? In times of crisis. This is when we need to do more, not cower in and do less. I mean, we need to take care of ourselves, we need to take care of our families, but we also can help a whole lot of other people in whatever way that we're able to. Me, I can show up every day on video and share an idiom every day about what it means and how you can apply it to your life and your current situation. I can show up and I can continue to learn and grow and be honing my skills and sharing that information with the people that I interact with in order to help them to grow throughout this crisis. And each and every one of us can do that. We can show up, at least show up for the people in your life, your family, and at least be personally developing and growing and challenging yourself to move toward your goals and objectives during this time period. That's it. Have an awesome day. I am going to start my Monday. I wish you an amazing day, and I'll of course be with you tomorrow reporting on what am I doing, what am I up to now, what's working, what's not working, and what could you learn from that so you don't have to make all the crazy mistakes that I've made. Take care. If I can help you in any way, just ask in the comments below.